Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Sonic 2006 Let's Play. So now we know where Princess Elise is held captive. We gotta head to Dr. Eggman's secret base in White Acropolis, and luckily for us, White Acropolis is not very far at all. All we gotta do is head down this road towards this conspicuous mountainside, and booyah, there's the mirror right there. It's like Eggman wasn't even trying to hide it from us. Well, then again, Dr. Eggman wants Sonic to head into the White Acropolis to collect the Chaos Emerald and do whatever the hell he feels necessary. But before we do, we have to defeat more of Eggman's mechs. So, well, you know what to do. Just, homing attack for the win. That's all you pretty much can do at this point. It's all you've been doing for the last 3 parts. It's not getting old or anything. I swear to God, it's not. It's, just, Yeah, you also have Tails and Knuckles following you now throughout some levels and in the hub world, but they're purely decoration, ladies and gentlemen. They do not do a goddamn thing. They don't even have victory animations. They just stand there like nothing's happening, enter their idle animations every once in a while, and that's about it. Apparently, they learned nothing from Sonic Heroes. The real superpower of teamwork does not exist anymore. It was just it's a hoax. It never happened.
There's a secret room here.
But
let's hurry to the White Acropolis.
so here we have the secret room with the White Acropolis, and there's really no point to this room whatsoever. I mean, we will be seeing it later in cutscenes for other characters, but I'm also wondering what the hell what's the deal with the Princess Elise portrait inside the room? That just kind of creepy if you ask me, but ladies and gentlemen, now we're in White Acropolis, this game's snow-based level, and right off the bat, we're introduced to what has to be the worst 3D snowboarding mechanics ever in a 3D Sonic game. I guess the best way I can sum it up in this for these segments is that there are no physics in the snowboarding segments. It's not like Sonic Adventure's Ice Cap, where going downhill actually speeds you up. It's not like City Escape in Sonic Adventure 2 where the same applies. In order to move anywhere with the snowboard in these sections, you have to hold up on the analog stick. So, you're pretty much, it's like controlling Sonic on foot, but instead of just having to worry about the super precise controls, now it gets pretty damn stiff too, because turning sucks on this thing. If you attempt to make a sharp left or sharp right with the snowboard, yeah, Sonic will face left or right, but he won't be going anywhere. He will just stay still and he'll be stuck. And then there are times like this where the camera suddenly decides to change and your control doesn't reset, and as a result you stop on a dime. It's awkward. And like right here, I'm turning and I stop because I can't make sharp turns with the snowboard. And at this point of recording this, I'm already spoiled by how well the snowboarding mechanics work in Sonic Generations, and I love them for that, for finally getting it right. But just going back to this, it is just so incredibly stiff and awkward. And with that statement right there, this is actually the point in the game where Sonic and Co. start developing this weird, horrible plague that they start pointing out the painfully obvious, like, well, you can't really get anything painfully obvious. Well, this is a pretty cold place for a base. Well, it's snowing, Sonic. Of course, it's a pretty cold place for a base. A base can be anywhere, but do you really have to mention the weather? And it gets worse from there, ladies and gentlemen. Sonic will start to, at one point or another, it sounds like Sonic is actually, assuming you're blind, in which case you really can't play video games to begin with. But back to the level, White Acropolis actually does get very non-linear at the end. Not here and not in the section before, because it's pretty much one straight path. And there's also this section where we're back to Tails here. You gotta fly over everything, and I don't know what exactly they expected you to do here. I heard that they expected you to use Tails' dummy rings to destroy the searchlights in order to deactivate the laser gates, but you're Tails. You can fly over them anyway. And by hitting the switch, control now shifts back to Sonic, because, he couldn't do that by himself. I mean, granted, I'm pretty sure Sonic could destroy the searchlights if he really wanted to with the homing attack or something like that. You know, but anyway, now we're at the final part of White Acropolis, and this is, you know, this is actually where it gets pretty non-linear. There are plenty of ways to get to the gold ring here, and they do like encourage you to take one particular pathway. You know, if you play your cards right and jump in the right places, you can actually get to the gold ring pretty damn easily here. And right now, I'm taking what I think is the fastest route. I'm pretty sure there are other ways, you know, but you know, if you want to get to the gold ring pretty damn easily, just, you know, just do what I'm doing and follow the path I'm taking. Because right after this U-turn, the gold ring will be right to the right. But of course, be careful with these speed boosters here, because like you just seen right there, I fell off the cliffside because when you hit a dash panel, for like the first 2 seconds, you can't control Sonic whatsoever. You know, you're jabbing left and right on the analog sticks, and nothing's happening. And then suddenly, you're back in full control with Sonic, and since you're probably holding left or right on the analog stick, Sonic will just go flinging left or right, and it's real easy to lose control of yourself at that point. But I died, though, before, I died just a few seconds ago, because for some reason, no matter how many times I played this level, and I have played this level plenty of times for many reasons, I always seem to forget there's a pit there, because the angle that you're given with Sonic while you're running on the floor there is not exactly, you know, beneficial to Sonic whatsoever, or I guess beneficial to the player, because, you know, for all you know, it could, the level terrain just could be going downwards on a slope, you know, like many Sonic levels have. But no, it's a pit, and a very unnecessary pit, I might add. I mean, the pit right here to the left is enough to signify danger, but you really don't need a pit right before the dash panels. It just, I don't know, it's like they're feeling random that day with the level design. But like I mentioned earlier, since there are plenty of ways to get to the gold ring, you can actually get a pretty big time bonus like I just did there. I got a B rank off of my time bonus alone, and if I didn't die, I surely would have enough rings to boost the score up tremendously to get that S rank, but, you know, that's not the case, and as such, I gotta start with the B. Oh well.
You're late.
Well, if you didn't send all those fucking robots.
Well, we had to deal with your little pets.
Where's Elise?
My, aren't we impatient?
Sonic!
You better not move. Now, the Chaos Emerald. Place it there.
He was rehearsing that all day, folks.
Huh? What?
No! It's no use.
No.
It's no use!
It's too powerful for you to overcome. Now, allow me to introduce you to my latest creation. This is the Solaris Prototype. With this machine, I'll be able to control the flow of time itself.
You know, instead of just launching an orbital satellite cannon to nuke Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles, I mean, you have them trapped right there. You could capitalize on
Rest
that.
assured, they're not dead. Yet. They've just been teleported by my glorious invention to another time. Who knows where they'll end up? It could be in the distant past or far future. But my machine still requires some fine-tuning.
No shit.
In fact, what my machine needs in order to be complete is your power.
My power?
Your power.
Yes, I can finally complete my plans, now that I have the Chaos Emeralds and you. The Princess of Soleanna. That's all I need to revive the flames of disaster. And with its power, I will be able to control everything and rule the world. So, you would be wise to remain on my good side.
If you have all the Chaos Emeralds, why do you need all this stuff to begin with? You do know that your god is Solaris, right?
Boy, do I feel dizzy. Where are we?
Oh, look who's here. I didn't expect to see you guys.
Rouge! Shadow!
Hi, long time no see.
What is Sonic Team's fucking fetish with that line?
This is the distant future, far removed from our own timeline.
The future? Then that means Eggman's machine can control time!
No.
Eggman's got some nerve dropping us here.
Now, how can we get back to our own time?
You need a space-time rift, but this requires a lot of energy. I see. You mean using your chaos control will... Yes, but that alone is insufficient.
That about sums up the game, alright.
Okay, Shadow. It looks like we need to work together.
I also do like how Shadow is suddenly, knowledgeable about time traveling and shit like that. I mean, you think he had, time to test that out? He just knows that offhand that you need the Chaos Emeralds in order to, Okay, anyway. And with that obvious statement, ladies and gentlemen, this is Crisis City. And to, many people, people that play the game, this is actually what's considered to be the best level of the entire game. And, I admit that I really do like the look of Crisis City. I do like what they were trying to do here. The post-apocalyptic setting, where hazards can spring at any point in time. Stage hazards, mind you, not Iblis monsters, the one, the guys we're seeing now. These are newcomers here. But, there are a lot of things I do like about Crisis City. I already mentioned the look. I do love Crisis City's music. But that's about it. Well, first off, Crisis City is broken up into 4 different acts, as you could say. There are 4 different sections of Crisis City that you need to tackle. Each have their own obstacles. The first part, as you're seeing here, is another goddamn streetboarding segment. So, the controls are just the same as the snowboarding segments in White Acropolis. So, if you hated White Acropolis' snowboarding sections, you're gonna hate the opening act of Crisis City. But now we're in the second part of Crisis City. This is where things get a bit more platformy and grind-happy. And I should mention, actually, that grind rails are nothing like they were in Sonic Adventure 2 and Heroes. They are no longer momentum-based as of this game. I think Heroes may have done it first, and Shadow the Hedgehog, I can't recollect at the moment, but grind rails are completely automatic in this game. The only thing you have to do is just get on them, and the game takes care of itself. With that said, it's just, I don't know, it just, I kind of liked it in, Sonic Adventure 2, where, I had to grind rails carefully in order to make sure I didn't lose my balance, able to switch to rail perfectly without fucking up. Because that's another thing you can't do in this game anymore. So you can't, they say like you're grinding on a rail and there's another rail that, appears, parallel to the rail you're grinding on. You can no longer hold left or right and jump to automatically switch to another rail. That doesn't work anymore. In this game, you either have to manually jump from rail to rail, which is incredibly hard to do and just not recommended, or you can homing attack on the other rail, which case the homing attack will probably fuck up and you'll probably, homing attack on the rail you were just on, or you'll probably just miss the rail altogether. So, what the hell? What happened? Granted, I do like how in this game you can homing attack on grind rails. I do like that, addition to the power of your homing attack, but it's, I did like the option where you could quickly switch from rail to rail, with the analog stick, and I don't know why they took that out. But then again, since rail grinding is automatic to begin with, maybe it's for the better. I'm not exactly sure. And there's my homing attack, not doing what I wanted it to do. I was trying to homing attack towards the ledge there, but since the grind wheel was closer, it homed in on that instead, and you know, waste time. And these are the Iblis monsters, and yes, like the Iblis worms in particular, since they're considered like the big enemy of, you know, the genre of Iblis monsters. They take multiple hits to kill with the homing attack, and thankfully we will be getting the bounce bracelets soon, you know, to make these guys a little easier to deal with. But as of now, you know, we still spam that homing attack. But now we're into the third part of Crisis City, and now we're inside a horizontally moving tornado funnel. I'm not exactly sure what the hell this is, and how exactly... These winds have to be really fucking strong if they're carrying all this, you know, debris and shit without, you know, affecting Sonic whatsoever. In fact, I'm surprised that the buildings in the background aren't falling apart as we speak, considering how strong these winds have to be. But this is definitely the most platform-heavy of the section of the stage. You know, there's a lot of... you know, one giant bottomless pit and you know, below you, you know, now you have to, you know, carefully time your jump. And I would recommend, you know, using the L and R triggers to, you know, move the camera around just to get a good view of where you're going next. Actually, one thing you can do if you're familiar with, you know, Zelda Ocarina of Time, or, you know, any of the N64 Zelda games, or pretty much any 3D Zelda at this point, you can press the L trigger.
That tornado's carrying a car.
Yeah, you can press the L trigger to reset the camera to immediately snap behind Sonic. So it's just a little forewarning. It's like very instantaneous. Like the moment you push just a little pressure on the L trigger, the camera will immediately snap back to behind Sonic. And you know, I'd recommend using it when you know, if you're standing still or just want to get a good view of what you're looking at. But you know, when you're moving and you know, you're doing some high speed platforming, I would recommend just turning the camera manually and not snapping. But anyway, now we have our second Mach Speed section of the game, and again, Mach Speed controls there. I wasn't able to control my jump in midair, and because of that, I died as a result. And there's more Sonic pointing to painfully obvious that Tornado is carrying a car, among other things, yes. The gimmick with this Mach Speed section is that you constantly have a tornado chasing your ass. Now, you never have to worry about the tornado itself actually catching up to you and hurting you. It's the shit the tornado throws at you have to worry about. And because this game's physics engine likes to make every single little thing that's moving at 300 miles per hour an obstacle or a hazard, there's a lot of shit you have to avoid. You know, that crate, you know, if you avoid the crate, that's good, but because a car is being thrown into it, that crate now suddenly becomes like 300 separate obstacles that Sonic needs to avoid. And Sonic will get hurt and enter his breakdance of doom if he has so much touches a piece of plank. You know, the best thing I can do to, the only thing I can recommend here is that the Lightspeed Dash is your best friend. The rings are placed in areas where you can pretty much avoid all of the shrapnel, though, you know, again, this game's physics engine really likes to dick with you with times, you know. There are plenty of times where I'm using the Lightspeed Dash and I still get hit by the tiniest piece of wood, and it just, you know, it's, I think it's safe to say that, you know, getting a high score in the final act of Crisis City is luck based. You just gotta hope that the physics engine works with you and there's not too much shrapnel. But that is the end of Crisis City, so next time we meet, we're heading into the second half of the apocalyptic setting, and we're gonna, you know, see what else lies ahead. So until then, see you next time. Oh, just a quick forewarning. I'm actually I'm postponing the Genma Onimusha playthrough as of today because well, handling 2 playthroughs, one post commentary and one live, is a bit it's a bit rough on me at the moment, and I'm a little busy working on things, you know. So I'm a little busy. My platter's pretty full at the moment, so I'm going to be postponing Genma Onimusha until further notice, so I can get a little more time to work on this LP. So I hope you guys don't mind too much. Genma Onimusha will resume as soon as I, you know, have the time to, you know, edit more parts in. But anyway, this part's gone on long enough. So see you next time for part 5 of the Sonic 2006 commentary. Well, let's play.